How's it going, everyone? It is October 17th, 2019, and this is Thriving Bulls Trade of the Day. Hello and good morning, everyone. This is Thriving Bulls Trade of the Day. We are looking at the Euro USD here. The Euro has just been doing some interesting setups here, so we're going to go ahead and see what NADEX has to offer. Possibly for the 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. We're going to look for close to 50-50. We can see 111. Let's see. I'm liking this one more, the 1116 price. But I think that we're going to be able to maybe bounce off the +1, come back and retest the trend line. So let's see what let's go back and show kind of what happened here. So we had price just boost up today. We had a huge spike up, and we tested the 1.5, the positive 1.5, and now we are forming a pennant a little bit, but we are testing the positive 1.0 as support. So what could possibly happen here is, because we broke new lows, so what could possibly happen is, as long as we don't break new highs coming this way, we should be fine. But we want to make sure that we get a good price in the event that price does move outside of our favor, and we can lock in profits much quicker. We are overbought on the Fisher transformer. Let's see. Sometimes we are able to go and see exactly where price may go. It is at the 38.2 as of right now. From recent high to recent low. On the 1 minute, we may test 23.6. Let's see where price is at now. Okay, there, that's much better. I like that much better. So we're going to keep going back and forth, making sure that we're getting the best price possible. All right, we're going to go ahead and purchase this for 45. All right, great. All right, so we have this for 45. We do only have 23 minutes left, but as always, we want to make sure that we lock in profits for half of full potential. So we do 45 divided by 2, and at 22.50, we'll have locked in half of the full potential. So we're going to go ahead and do that, which is 22.50 if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 22.50. All right, it's 22.50. All right, so now we have our pending order, and price is just dropping from there. So let's go ahead and keep looking at the setup on this trade and see what we're looking at here. Let me go ahead and bring up my trusty pen real quick. All right, we've opened past the positive 1.0. We've opened past that. Well, pretty much we've opened right on it, but we are starting to move down past it. As long as we can move down past it, that'll be pretty good. All right, so I have my pen out now. All right, so we are kind of creating a pennant, but I'm not too sure that price is going to react as a bullish pennant. If it does, that's okay. We pretty much got a 50-50 trade on this, so, you know, not a big deal. But what we have here is 1116, and we're actually really close to. Let me see here. We did only buy in one contract. That must have been my mistake. That's fine, though. Profit, still profit. All right, perfect. And our position just got filled. So no matter what we would have we would have gotten here, we would have gotten filled. So that was our trade. But let's just go to the setup. As sometimes these trades are that quick. I mean, we literally were in the trade for about 4 minutes. So let's just, again, we're going to go back and check out the setup on this trade and go back and kind of show you guys exactly why we took it, why we wanted to take it, all that good stuff. Okay, great. All right, so let's bring out the pin. All right, so we're here on the 5-minute chart. As you can see, price came and tested the negative 2.0 right here. This was back on Tuesday. And although these deviation levels are put up every day as new levels, as volatility changes and as all of those good things change, these levels are respected. This level here is definitely respected, and this level here is definitely respected. So typically you'll see that that you'll have price come and touch these levels even from days prior. So anyway, so you have price coming and touching this, and we have just been going up for days, right? We've just been hitting this nice bullish trend. And then once we hit here, we hit a huge spike today, a huge spike. So we have a huge spike here today. But if we zoom in, let's clear the screen. If we zoom in, we can see this big cluster, this big cluster here. And then what I saw is, from my visuals, is first of all, we were extremely overbought right here. That just shows an extreme overbought zone. Every single one of these lines is just going straight up, almost to the 3 right here, as you can see, and we even see that here. This is another great example, and as you can see, price went up. So that is how we're able to determine exactly what's overbought and oversold. But that doesn't just always isn't always the most important. So then the next thing we wanted to do is get some more confirmation. So then I saw that we had this low with this low, but we had this low as well, which actually broke new lows from this level here, which I was thinking, that's interesting. So let's go ahead and put a trend line there and see exactly what happens if I put a trend line. Well, that's interesting. So we actually have price hit this trend line. Well, then let's put a trend line here. So that's also interesting. So now we're seeing that price is starting to consolidate around the 1.0 positive of the positive 1, and it is clustering around that area, but it's not wanting to break new highs. So because it's not wanting to break new highs, and we're seeing that we were overbought, we can only assume that we will be getting a downward push. Now, we may not break the bottom trend line to go into taking new lows, because this is considered by definition a bullish pennant. So if you don't know anything about bullish pennants, the bullish pennant is that you have price boosting up like this, and then we get this cluster like this. And what typically happens is that price will go up like this and go like, and just keep going up, and then what it does is it clusters around like that, and then it breaks new highs, hits here, and then breaks new highs and goes that way. So that's what we could possibly see for the rest of the day, just because we are forming this pennant. The Euro USD has just has just been really strong. If we go into an hourly, we can see something even more interesting. Let me go ahead and clear these drawings here. All right, perfect. So if you look here, once we actually started to make this uptrend, you can see that we had this uptrend, a little bit of a downtrend, uptrend, a little bit of a downtrend, uptrend, a little bit of a downtrend. So this was the first time that we broke new lows, right? So even here we didn't even break new lows, but we had this huge candle that just busted to make almost to new highs, new highs from recent highs. But here's our high. So we broke new highs here, and we go up and a little bit down, and we go up. So after going through this, we can only assume that this progression is going to continue. But even though we have this huge candle from today, that doesn't mean that price is just going to just, break off and just sell off immediately. We may have to see what's actually going on in the bigger time frames to see exactly what we could possibly see for potential for longer term trades. One thing that I definitely see is, let's actually go ahead and put this in. If I can spell. So let's go ahead and put in an exponential moving average. We'll put this as a 200, our favorite. There we go. Didn't want to work there with me for a moment. Okay, so we are getting really, really close to this 200 EMA. And yes, we are in a downtrend. So even though we have all of this upward momentum, that doesn't mean that it's just going to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Eventually, we're going to have a stopping point. Because as you see in a downtrend, typically, as you can see, we have downward momentum, then upward momentum, downward momentum, then upward momentum, downward momentum, then upward momentum. So we are in a downtrend. So that's a big thing that you have to check, is see exactly what is going on the chart. And then once you actually go in and see what's going on inside the chart, you'll know what the trend is and just follow that trend. Once you follow the trend, your moves are going to be much bigger than what they would be in a shorter term. So looking at this chart, we can see a lot of different things. We are seeing right now that we are getting into overbought zones. We're about to hit the 200 EMA, which is a huge setup. But if we go in and let's make this a 180-day 4-hour chart. And let's go ahead and put in a trend line. So if I take that high, that's a trend line to be able to look at. And from here, something you'll learn about trend lines is that sometimes people will say, oh, you want to only look, if price busts through them, that means that they're not accurate and things like that. That is not always the case. If you look here, we take it from this point here, and if we zoom in just from here, we can see that price consolidated around that area. It hit here and failed, hit here and failed. Then it had to break through. Then it had to break through again. It actually hit here, and you can tell that it failed a little bit. Failed here, failed about here, failed here, failed there, failed there. So we have a lot of failure, which means that we could potentially fail at the exact same spot. And if I were to put that a little bit more accurately, you can see that price did touch the trend line at an overbought position, and now it's just been going down ever since. So let's go ahead and clear this up. And you go back into a 5-minute and see what price is doing. So for me, it does look like that the Euro USD is waiting to give one final push to retest that 200 EMA on the daily chart. That is what it looks like it is getting ready to do. It's getting ready to possibly test a whole number, which is 1.12. So it looks like it's about to test that area. And once it tests that area, it's going to be up to the buyers to keep that position strong and test new highs. Because as of right now, the high that we have to break is roughly here or here. And if you look at where price is there, that is 1.14. And that is 1.125 roughly. So that's a huge thing to consider. So again, why we took this trade was because we looked at the overall trend, which is of right now, it is a downtrend. Yes, on the 5-minute it is an uptrend, but you want to look at the overall trend on the daily, 4-hour, stuff like that. We saw that it was a downtrend. We saw this huge upward momentum. We see this consolidation happening, but we know that the bears are going to be ready to play on this position to maybe test the 200 EMA here, then start to rocket back up and test the 200 EMA on the daily and 4-hour, and that's why we took the trade. I hope that you enjoyed this trade. I hope that I hope that these videos are teaching you guys on what and what not to do. If you guys have any questions, you can visit our website at www.thrivingbull.com. There we have a signal service that we will be opening up for NADEX. It's a signal table that you'll be generating roughly around 3, sometimes even 7 trades per day. You can see our performance on that page. You're able to see that every single trade that comes through, it's sent to the performance page and shows you exactly what you would have gotten. It shows you the prices. It shows you all of that good stuff. If you want to sign up for that, you can go to www.thrivingbull.com. There you will be able to sign up for the newsletter, and then you will get an email once they have released. We are still in beta. We are making sure that that product is ready 100% for you guys and does not have any single bugs. As far as the deviation trading goes, which is this right here, we will be actually setting up a deviation trading lesson that will be a particular package with Thriving Bull that will open up a little later once we actually get settled with the signal service. We're thinking only just a couple of weeks. Everything's pretty much prepared. We just want to open up the signal service for you guys. Again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment down below or email us going to www.thrivingbull.com.